Yeah, I think Jamie Jones-Buchanan after the game last night talked about great tackle. Ben Reynolds, more or less as soon as he caught that ball, Theo Fage met with some resistance.
What a hit.
Wow. That'll put a bit of doubt in the mind of Theo Fage.
But that's what Ben Reynolds can offer you. And there is the kick from Rouget.
Okay, it's contact.
Good kick.
Just going back to the point that Jamie Jones-Buchanan made last night, he talked about these two teams being kick and chase specialists. Specialists at pinning their opponents in the corner, making it difficult for them to create momentum. And they do the fundamentals and basics really well. As those words leave my mouth, the fundamentals of playing the ball, Ryan Hall just fluffs his lines. There's the hit from Ben Reynolds. And although he doesn't make a mistake, what he does is he'll just put an extra half a second of hurry into the actions of Theo Fage. When he collects them passes, he's running onto a ball, he'll just tense up just a little bit, those core muscles, those obliques in the side will just be tensing just a little bit.
Keep one eye out for his opposite number for sure. Willie Peters was saying they've got to make a clean start. Don't give Catalan any early opportunities. Well, they've done that with that incorrect play of the ball. Rouget, 5 yards away from the line. That a set restart, it has to be. He was all over Mike McMeekin. Here is Bousquet, right in front of the post. Real chance, first chance of the game, going to the Dragons. McLaurin with the short pass. Always dangerous in and about that play, the ball close to the line. It was Garcia, but McLaurin does go on his own. Has he managed to get the ball down? Well, here's an interesting decision. He was having a look, wasn't he, Jack Smith? And he reckons that Mickey McLaurin, we said he was dangerous in that situation, has scored the try. Ben Thaler, the video referee, will give us the verdict. Let's have a look.
Michael McLaurin, crafty, intelligent, smart hooker that he is. Even though he's on his back, he's still rolling, still wriggling. And although Niall Evalds is in the vicinity, my first instinct was McLaurin gets this ball down. Hard to see on that angle. Over his right shoulder, the referee is in a perfect position. He sent it up as a try.
Well, it looks like it's just on the line. The decision, I think, for the video referee, was it on the line or was it just short of the line? But if it's been given as a try on the field, it looks to me, Barry, as if that was on the line. And Catalan take the lead. We said he was dangerous from dummy half. He has 18 years of experience and he comes up with a big try.
Benefiting from good field position, brought about by the kick and chase of his side, the mistake from Ryan Hall, and then a little bit of pressure close to the line. McLaurin feeds a couple of short players, short passes, pulling in defenders, and then he's too smart, too wise near the line to be given an opportunity like that.
An old head on old shoulders, but you can't beat a bit of experience in a situation like that. Artem Borg adds the extras. 6-0, Catalan lead, 7 minutes on the clock.
Well, the home side will be delighted with the start. Trying to work over the middle men from Hokiar. We have it that Jai Whitbrad already making 9 tackles in just 5 minutes. And then Michael McLaurin going right at those middle unit players. 6-0 to the home side.
Yeah, they needed a good start, but the error from Ryan Hall, did that one go backwards?
Are you saying anything?
I think it did.
First move, we'll call it okay then. Hold.
6-0, 8 minutes gone. Hull KR winning their last 5 games.
Move back!
as we mentioned, this is a big test. In fact, the next few weeks are a big test for Rovers as to where they are, where they're at, how much they've improved. Wigan, Saints and Warrington to come, and then that semi-final against Wigan.
Doesn't get any easier for them, does it? Wigan, Saints, Warrington, off the back of this Catalan trip. They've been here for a couple of days, not flying in and out as usual. Perhaps recognising the schedule that they've got in front of them. I suspect when they're behind the sticks, they'll talk about the mistake, leaving the door open to the Catalan Dragons and making sure they didn't do that, or they don't do that again. Good run there from Joe Burgess. He's got a tremendous try in the cup last week. He was possibly lucky for a similar opportunity. Nothing doing from the Dragons.
But he's still got the legs, hasn't he? Still got the pace.
Down stuck. Go. You're okay.
Stride length.
Third,
we haven't seen much of the ball. Midway side their own half.
Good, Mike.
Litton. Minchella's going to be very important as well for KR in the middle of the field. Litton and Tyrone May. And the ball knocked down by Tom Johnston. Good job as well.
Stuart, it's interesting, we look at the benches and you said that Nicarima dropped to the bench. I believe that's the tactical bench player, Jaden Nicarima. At the beginning of the year when he came on, often he changed the rhythm of a game. Well, you can say the exact same for Matt Parcell. He was given a start when we watched them on Sky Sports the last time they played. I think it was against the London Broncos, had an excellent game. Was very close to getting the man of the match, scored 3 tries. So Parcell and Nicarima for their respective sides. Watch those crackerjacks when they come on the field.
Yeah, electric pace Nicarima really has, and he will play a part.
Out, Julian! Off the leg, Mickey. Go to
Litton. And Minchella again involved. So an opportunity here for Rovers. Whitbread, who has been really busy. And Reynolds misses out King, and May looks for support and has it from Dean Hadley. Coming up for 11 minutes gone. 6-0, the Catalan Dragons in front. Tyrone May once more. The captain, Elliot Minchella, looking for a way through. He's down a blind alley there, nowhere to go. Last one, May, good hands, great hands out to the far side. Burgess goes for the corner. First attack, first chance, first try. And Joe Burgess gets another one. His 7th try in 6 games. And it was quick as that, and it was as good as that.
Love it, love it, love it. Stuart, watch the deception from Jez Litton at night. Fakes to go one way. All his body shaped to go left. Comes back to the right. Everybody will be well practiced, will understand where they've got to be. They create the numbers. You can see Ben Garcia goes up, takes Tyrone May. The edge and space is created, and that's a terrific finish from Joe Burgess. We talked about his 60-70-metre effort in the Challenge Cup. Well, they're just as pleated when they've got players in front of them. They've got to use that evasion, that agility. They've got to bump, hit, spin, and that's a great finish from the wingman.
Key word there, agility. That's a pure winger's cry, isn't it? There are 3 Catalan players trying to bring Burgess down.
Cheers, mate.
Of course, it all went wrong for him at Salford. The fallout from that for Burgess. But he has made a brilliant start to his KR career. All the signs are he's only here for this year, that he will be staying. He's going to sign on for the 2025. But when he gets going, he is a try-scoring machine. 7 tries in 6 games for Burgess now. And Reynolds off the touchline to level this game. It's been enthralling thus far. Oh, what a good kick. Again, having his value. We know that Rovers have had problems with goal kicking this year. Ben Reynolds, one of the best in the business, whatever level he plays. 6-all, 13 minutes gone. It's the cracker we demanded.
This edge with you on your 10
It's the
metres.
cracker we
On your
expected.
10.
Well, that's it. You know, with a player like Ben Reynolds in your side, you know more often than not 4 will turn into 6. It was a wonderful set play, great shape, throwing lots of questions at the defence from the Catalan Dragons. And every turn served now. George King carting the ball up.
Hold. Go on, you're all good.
We were saying, we were talking, weren't we, before the kickoff, that this has the hallmarks of being the game of the weekend. Just to remind you, if you're joining, it's a Catalan win, they go back to the top of Super League, 2 points clear. Hull KR win, we'll have 5 teams, all on 12 points. Great offload. Here's Litton now looking for a way through. They do play some really good stuff, don't they? They're prepared to give it a go with ball in hand. King looks for the offload.
He's through the line, it's fine.
They do play, but they make great decisions with the ball. We saw last night's game, Leeds made some basic mistakes, made some poor decisions with the ball. It ultimately cost them the game.
Great kick again from May. Hall manages to get hold of it, it's still the last one. Reynolds clips it towards the line, and it's picked up in the end by Tom Johnston, but who was there following up to make the tackle? Tyrone May.
And they're good signs when you see your half-backs pairing up, Tyrone May, Ben Reynolds, one kicking, one chasing. Fortunately, give a penalty away off the back of that. It's a good decision to kick into space by Ben Reynolds, and then the reaction of Tyrone May. No doubt him pointing to where he wants that kick to go, ready to get on his bike and chase.
Well, it was a good tackle. There's no need for the follow-up, was there, from Jai Whitbread. That was the penalty. Here is Garcia, 15 minutes gone in Perpignan. Catalan 6, Hull KR 6.
Go to.
Of course, Rovers are also missing Jesse Sue, aren't they? Who's massively important in the pack. He is suspended. Rouget and McMeekin. Good tackle. Opicic in there with Reynolds. Here is McAloran once more. He's been played at a ferocious pace.
Go 5.
Surely they can't maintain this for 80 minutes. Good kick forward, Ryan Hall. Does he manage to stay in play? How did he do that? Heroics from Hall. First of all, to just about stay in play and then get the ball back.
You've got to back yourself to do things like that, haven't you? That could just as easily have gone wrong for Ryan Hall.
King, 4 games George King has missed with a hamstring problem. And he's back at least 2 weeks before Willie Peters, the coach, expected him to. So that's a bonus, especially with the absence this afternoon of Jesse Sue. 70 degrees plus.
That's a good defensive set from the Dragons, restricting Hull KR to just 13 metres coming away from their own line. The ball gets caught from Artia Morg on the full, and look at that, they're on the red line, 40-metre line.
Kalepi Tanganoa is on.
Move together, out!
Always rated Tanganoa, you know, he was a good player in a poor team at Wakefield.
He's a difficult man to handle, he's got an offload, runs really good lines and targets. The job of a back rower is to make a difficult afternoon, evening for the half-back. So Theo Fage, Cesar Rouge are going to see something from him at some point, aren't they?
He's gone to the man, he's gone to the man.
Quick hands again. Here's Davis, he's got support if he needs it. Davis inside, and it'll be a stroll-in for Ikebalu. And that was brilliant from Catalan. In an instant, turning defence into attack. And Ikebalu with the try. And Catalan hit the front once more, scintillating.
The Dragons managing to find some space on the edge. You can see sweeping play. We're going to be talking about the 2 head guards all afternoon. Cesar Rouge, Theo Fage, like doppelgangers. But it's Theo Fage who provides the pass. Tom Davis still with a decision to make. Waits and buys enough time for Matt Ikebalu to get up there in support. 10-6, and again, good conversations. You can see good communication with the Hull KR players. They'll need to fix that edge defence up.
Well, Masikavalu with the winning try, remember, a couple of weeks ago when the Dragons beat St Helens in a thriller at the Stade Gilbert Brutus.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
That could be a crucial score again. At the moment, with 18 minutes gone, it's a case of we score, you score, we score. Long may it continue. 10-6, kick to come from Artem Walk. Yeah, two terrific kickers, Morg for the Dragons, Ben Reynolds for the Hull KR. Just to the left of the post, so 10-6 it remains as we approach the midway point of what's been a fabulous first half.
It's a good point you make, that the you score, we score. Our game's a lot about momentum. Teams will have a phase within a half. They might have 10 minutes where they're on the front foot, they dominate possession and field position. That's when they'll look to post points, but this hasn't really gathered any momentum for either side.
Still being played at a tremendous pace, speed of the game. Reynolds then gets us back underway. 20 minutes gone, 10-6 to the Catalan Dragons, who have won their last 7 home games against Hull KR. I remember from 3 years ago, a playoff semi-final.
Yeah, it's a difficult place to go. The Catalan Dragons, they seem to have mastered how to win on the road, and it's a fortress whenever you go to Stade Gilbert Brutus. And the characters within the camp, players like Tariq Sims, tough, uncompromising, really setting the standards we hear in the gym, along with Chris Satai, lifting big weights, challenging players around them to get fitter, faster, stronger.
Well, both Satai and Tariq Sims, big hits already with their teammates, as Barry quite rightly points out. Last one, Cesar Rouget, who gets the kick away, and it's allowed to bounce. Taken in the end by Reynolds. 9 levels, 6s and 7s there.
Well, he's fumbled a few, hasn't he? 9 levels. By trade is a fullback. He's wearing number 2 because of the issues around the squad with Petr Hiku. That is his job. Catch the ball on the foot. He's got to back himself. To high tackle there from Mike McMeekin. Late footwork from behind all that. That's another thing. That's another string to his ball. Late footwork. Even the presence and the power that he's got when he's carting the ball forward. He's got lovely footwork as well. Often benefits from a high shot or two.
Good point that you make, because of course they started the season with Hiku at full-back, didn't they? It just didn't quite work out. He's got his natural position here and moved Evans back to full-back, and in the main Evans has been really
brilliant
good.
on the ball, brilliant on the ball. The full-back role is the only player that can choose which side he comes in at. Most players are locked in on a left or a right edge. He can go anywhere, he can follow that ball. But he's got to get that part of his game right. Catch the ball on the full.
Tyrone May, there is Evans and Opicic looking for a way through. The Gildart is fit again, but Opicic keeping his place in the side. Here is Tanganoa with another good run. Litton at dummy half, inside, just inside the Catalan territory.
Suspicious look like a trip.
Yeah.
He's in, he's in, he's in!
If it wasn't a trip, it was a trailing leg.
Now, back this 10.
The best.
Go third, play on.
Messi play the ball.
3.
May once more, they're targeting that left edge.
Ball.
Here is Hiku, but nowhere to go. Couple of tackles left in this set. Tyrone May seeing a lot of the ball.
Clear, push. 4. Still 4.
Good hands once more. Great tackle on Opicic by Ikavalu. Brilliant defensive play from Masikavalu. Hero at both ends. May goes high with the kick. Pressure on ball. Ball goes backwards. Well, it was pounced on, wasn't it, by
Ben Reynolds?
It was.
It's Ben Reynolds, Stuart, and although they don't get the result, when you're away from home, in a hostile environment, you've got to compete for everything. And that's what you get with Ben Reynolds. He's a competitor, and others will raise their levels because of his standards that he's setting. Tyrone May, we often talk about Tyrone May playing the game at a different speed to everyone else. He looks keen today, having more involvements and more touches.
Desiree on for the Dragons. Quick play the ball. Still being played in at some pace. Hadley with the tackle. Rouge and Farge always busy with the ball. Here is McMeekan looking to offload. Brought down just shy of halfway. And the ball goes back to Rouge. That's a mistake again. Well, Evans is under real pressure on the high ball. That's 3 times that he's fumbled, and a shake in the hand tells you everything.
I'm not a body language expert, but that's in his head now. It was in his head from the first kick that went up, and you will, apologies for everybody at home, Rouge and Farge are like twins out there with the head guards. It may well be causing confusion to Hull KR, and Niall Evans doesn't know who's kicking and doesn't know who's chasing.
One's wearing 7.
Because we don't either.
No, one's wearing 7, one's wearing 17. But you have to say that it never looked likely that Evans was going to take that.
No, they're like, if you were thinking about it in football terms, they're like goalkeepers. They get it wrong and it can often result in a try.
Well, that's what they're looking for now. Romano, really good season after Romano. Desiree only knows one way. Forward, forward, and forward again. They are again very close to the line. Garcia always onto that short ball. That is Farge, that is Rouge, and that is Tom Johnston. Looking to cut inside Johnston. Eventually brought down. Batchelor goes back for second. 10-6, 25 minutes gone. Brilliant stuff from both. Farge with a quick ball. He's got Davis now. Davis for the corner. That's a brilliant Catalan try. They extend their lead. And Tom Davis gets their 3rd score. My, that was good. It came from another Hull KR error. And Tom Davis flinging himself to the corner and extending the lead to 14 points to 6.
Last week, in the Challenge Cup, we were drooling over the finish of Matty Ashton. Well, take about Tom Davis. With 15 metres to run, with defenders rushing across to try and shoulder charge him out of the way. It's a beautiful executed play. He puts the ball in his right hand. He gets the grip right. He makes sure he can extend it, get it out there, get it down on the floor as quickly as possible. It's a gallant effort from Niall Evans. But that is a world-class finish from Tom Davis.
I think some of these wingers try to outdo each other, don't they? They're like
some of them look a bit fancy, Stuart, and I will give you that. Sometimes I look and I watch and I think there's no need for that. You're doing that for the Instagram followers.
Absolutely.
But that was perfect. He knew what he had to do. He had the skill and ability to do it, and that's the reason he gets his team a try.
And the way, just as you say, the way he just switched the ball into his right hand, and there was one thing in his mind. He was diving for that corner with that ball, and he was going to score. So much to think about for Willie Peters, the Hull KR coach. The errors have contributed to the Catalan tries. Artem Morg make it a 10-point ball game. You might be able to hear the wind in the background on the effects mic. It is still very breezy out there, despite the pleasant conditions. 14-6 it is, with 13 minutes to half-time.
I absolutely love that finish. Love the fact that they created space. There was a lot of meterage for Tom Davis to play with, but I'm going to go back. I'm a bookend, I'm a front rower, and the big men in the middle are doing the work. Julian Busquet gets his first rotation, first rest, 54 metres he's carried for. So the field position and the fact that they've continued to push back Hull KR has meant that they've had opportunity and they've had a look at the try line Chris Satai will look to do the same as the big man, the bus.
Absolutely. He is the ultimate impact player, isn't he, Chris Satai? Julien Bousquet has been an old warhorse, he's been terrific. Your mate Terry O'Connor, Bousquet's one of his favourite players in Super League.
Just be careful with the my mates reference. Just because he follows me around. No, we're both admirers of Bousquet.
Yeah.
I think Sam Burgess said it in the previous game, late 20s, early 30s. That's the real sweet spot for a front row, and he's certainly matured into a good one, as is Chris Satai.
It's all about the go forward, isn't it? And Catalan have it at the moment.
And that's a beautiful kick as well. Kicking for field position. Just look at that line in front of Niall Evans. That's a low body angle because he knows he's going to get pushed over if he's upright.
Look where they're starting their set.
They've done that so well, haven't they? They've continued to pin the Rovers down in that 10-metre zone. Be interesting to look at how many times Hull KR have started their sets behind the 20-metre line and how many behind the 10-metre line.
When that pass out is on for Hull KR, they'll have to go back and play that again. 11 and a half minutes to go to half-time. Here is King.
Find space, go.
King and Hadley and Luckley and Staunton.
Go 5.
They've got some big men in there.
40.
And they're going to need them if this game goes on.
Let's go.
Big men, Stuart, but for me ineffective at the minute. They're being well bitten by the Catalan Dragons pack of forwards.
Yeah, it was Luckley who was tackled before, of course. He's replaced George King, but King has put in a big stint. Oh, there's the break again.
2 straight on KR!
At the moment, there's no stopping them, is it? Tom Johnston it was.
He's round 10, Tom.
Just the play the balls are so much quicker, aren't they?
And look at how Michael McAlorum isn't passing the ball from the floor. I know that's a slow play of the ball, but when he's scooping it up off the floor, it's because he's got no ruck speed. But Michael McAlorum, and again another set of 6, is able to pick it up, take a few steps, and then pass the ball.
Well, at the moment, Rovers are contributing to their own downfall with errors and penalties. He'd already called Howell, so Garcia will have to play it again. But what a chance here for Catalan. Satai going for the line. 1, 2, 3, 4 eventually to bring Satai down. Here is Desiree. Can they stop Desiree close to the line? I don't think they can. It's a try for Jordan Desiree. Well, everyone was just looking around to see if he'd managed to score, but he knew that he'd got it down. Satai was close, but Desiree made no mistake. And another error from Hull KR, a set restart, and it's the first try of the season for Desiree. And Catalan are racing away with this now.
Well, big men dominating in the middle, but with that craft and intelligence from Michael McAlorum, just lays it on the plate. They'll be disappointed, Hull KR. There's enough players to handle this. There's not too much deception. And I think the craft and intelligence of Michael McAlorum is just to keep banging at that door. He's only just come onto the field, Matt Parcell. His body is too high, really, for a player with the power of Jordan Desiree, but that's a disappointing try to concede. You don't like barge overs, and you don't like when a player has enough bodies in front of him to be handled.
Steve McNamara demanded a response after, as he called it, the embarrassment of being walloped by Huddersfield in the Cup last weekend, and he has got it. The performance of Catalan, night and day from what they saw last week. No mistake there from Martin Borg. Still 8 minutes to go to half-time. Catalan are away to a 20-6 lead.
20 points, as you say, could quite easily get up to the 30s if they don't manage to handle and do something to switch this momentum. Only seems like 10, 15 minutes ago I was saying that Neither side had managed to get a foothold in the game, and it was a you score, we score game. And then up steps the Catalan Dragons and completely slanted this game in their favour.
Move Elliot, square K!
So what's the answer for Hull KR?
There's a little bit of deal with the muscle that Catalan Dragons
You pulled him back in, go to!
are fronting up with, but also sometimes you've got to outthink your opponents. If you can't go through them, you've got to outthink them. But it starts with the speed of the play of the ball. Look at that. 3 defenders, nobody in position.
Tackle.
Go 4.
Bachelor on Garcia. Oh, lovely little pass. Romano inside. Theo Farge. Farge will score! A Catalan cracker, and they're running away with this. This is a brilliant, breathtaking performance from the Catalan Dragons, and they strike again. And there's nothing at the moment, absolutely nothing, that Hull KR can do about this.
An absolutely stunning play, isn't it?
A bit of chaos in that set.
Lovely soft hands. Defenders second guessing who's going to get the ball. That's the 5th clean break from the Catalan Dragons so far. Watch this. Artia Morg just entices the defender to bite in, opens the door ajar ever so slightly. And again, I've been so impressed with the Catalan Dragons players when they make a break, get into open space, their ability to assess the situation, deliver the right pass at the right pace and the right weight to make it easy for that support play to catch it and advance the play.
3 tries in 8 minutes. Is that the game, I wonder? It's a long, long, long way back now for Willie Peters and his Hull KR side. I said right at the start that this is a real test of KR's credentials. But at the moment, they are failing that test. They have been outplayed, outfought, and outthought by the Catalan Dragons. More puts over the extras. 26 points to 6.
But you asked me, what can the Robins do at this point? They're just facing all the momentum. It's like a runaway truck at the minute. So they need some field position, they need to get hold of the ball, they need to stop and try and prevent the freedom that the Catalan Dragons players are playing with. And it's down to players like Ben Reynolds and Tyrone May.
Well, even when Matakavalu scored after 17 minutes, it was 10 points to 6, and they were still very much in the game, but they've seen so little of the ball in the last 10 minutes. They have to play the ball again. Those tries from Davis, Desiree and Farge has it already done for Hull KR in the sunshine in the south of France. 4.5 minutes to go to half-time. Steve McNamara's side, unrecognisable from a week ago.
Yeah, big response, isn't it? A season has its peaks and troughs, and it's important the championships winning sides learn quick.
They want more. Here is Romano. It was his break. An inside pass that set up Theo Farge. Last one. Is there any respite for the Hull KR? It was Rouget who put the ball up, and it was well taken by Ryan Hall.
Well, that wasn't a great kick. I think that's the first real gaff that they've made in about 12 or 13 minutes. Ryan Hall, with all the experience in the world, catches the ball, goes forward. You can see confidently holds that ball, runs right over the top, and then Desiree comes in, lends his weight, and it's too long on Ryan Hall. This will help the cause. It seems like we've been looking right all game, doesn't it? Apart from those first 5 or 6 minutes.
Blessed relief this for Hull KR, you have to say, but for me, the big difference has just been the speed at which Catalan are playing the game. Hull KR have got no answer. No answer, or they've had no answer so far.
This line's good.
That was happily brought down. Here is Parcell.
Shoulder.
Is there a glimmer of hope coming just before half-time?
Square Ben! Go third, he's got forward.
3 minutes to half-time.
Fine shoulder again.
Apart from that opening score, haven't really managed to get
He's square, you're okay, mate, you're okay.
Tyrone May involved against his former club.
5. Move now, back Jordan.
So here we have the last one. Here is Tyrone May. Support there for Hiku. Hiku fed there by Evans, but nowhere to go. But at the moment, the Catalan Dragons can do no wrong.
There was hesitation with Hiku, wasn't there? I think if that's in the first 5 or 6 minutes, Joe Burgess scored a try in that very corner for the opening try for the away team. But Hiku just hesitates, keep hold of the ball, and they complete a set and make Catalan Dragons work away from their own line.
2. Move together, hold it now, Tom, Ben. 2, wait.
2 minutes to half-time.
Play on. Just end over end. It's
Dominant to half as you could possibly have.
Move, 3. Stay. Go 3.
McAlorum has been involved in everything. Is that a penalty? It is. Batchelor just
James Batchelor's a tireless worker for his side, but he doesn't need to cut corners like that. I'm sure when they get in the changing rooms, Willie Peters will talk about tackle technique, control, making sure that the tempo is determined and dictated by Hull KR, and it's not actions like that from James Batchelor.
He's got a big speech to make, hasn't he? Willie Peters at half-time. Here is Chris Satay, 5 years at Hull FC. I wonder what he makes of what's going on at the Black and Whites at the moment.
2. Oh no! Kept on, go 2.
There's a rear on halfway.
Come on, mate. 2.
Here's McMeekan once more. He's played at 13, he's played in the second row, he's played at centre and prop this season. Farge gets the ball away, but goes to ground.
Yeah, he's good at that, Ryan Hall. Often gets himself in between attackers.
Yeah, but to KR have. So still a minute or just shy of a minute.
There's no option really, Ryan Hall, because of the momentum that they're making, because of the metres that they're making with the ball. We make it over 200 metres more with the ball from the Catalan Dragons players. Such is the dominance and power that they're playing with.
Well, that's a significant amount, isn't it?
Numbers, Mickey, get ready early, pal.
530 odd metres with ball in hand.
It's massive. They've just been on the back foot for a good chunk, maybe 20 minutes of the game.
Well, Hull KR now in survival mode in the last 30 seconds of the half.
Up in square, boys. Go on.
McAlorum. Off goes Chris Satay again. He's so difficult to stop.
Held. Release. 2.
Killer players, Satay, nearly 100 games for Hull, but loving his rugby league at Catalan. And Desaria, both impact players have both made an impact. Kicked through from McAlorum, and it was knocked back, and it had to be. Good defence from Burgess, saving possibly another try, and that might just be that for the first half. And what a first half it's been for the Catalan Dragons, leading by 26 points to 6. And they have dominated. What a difference a week makes. Trouts they were in the Challenge Cup at the Stade Gilbert Brutus last weekend by the Huddersfield Giants. And Hull KR have got it all to do. McAlorum, Ikavalu, Davis, Desaria and Theo Farge with the tries. And it's a big 10 or 15 minutes coming up now for the Hull KR coach Willie Peters. Can he help turn things around? Can Hull KR put in a challenge in the second half? We shall see. We'll be back in a moment. Hull and St Helens, 2 big games to come at home for Catalan in May against Leeds, and then that third clash against Warrington at the end of May. But they have won their last 7 at home against Hull KR, and it's going to take one heck of a fight back and a comeback and a performance from Rovers to get back into this game. But yeah, all very disappointed. Too many mistakes, too many errors. They've given away penalties. They've dropped the ball. They've given away too many set restarts. It really has been a horrible first 40 minutes.
You've got to have pride in your line, but if you continue to defend your own line, at some point, you're going to get that wrong. It all starts at the play of the ball. As you say, leaning on, laying on, giving 6 agains away. Well, let's hope that we get a second half fight back and a good comeback.
Well, they've got to go for it. I feel pretty certain here that, okay, I've got to score next, simple as that.
But before that, the process is what players will focus on, the process, the way that they practice during the week. What are our non-negotiables? Well, first and foremost, putting effort in. Secondly, competing for everything. We saw Ben Reynolds compete for a kick. I remarked on it and how his teammates had to follow. But be the best version of yourself. They've been nowhere near the side that we've watched throughout 2024 so far.
They haven't allowed to be fair. The pace of the game has been dictated by the Catalan Dragons on the last and kicking from just outside their own 20. Taken by Tom Johnston. Hungry for tries, as always. 31 in 36 games for Catalan, Tom Johnston. Cesar Rouge a dummy half.
Move together, Matt! Off the ball! Go to.
Luckily, Parcell was trying to slow things down, but they can't afford to give away any penalties at the start of the second half.
Release. 3.
Romano eventually plays the ball. McLaurin involved. Here is Desiree. Really impressed by that try, you know. It looked like he'd lost the ball, gathered it, and then smacked it down on the line.
Last tackle off him now.
Sims brought down. Last one. McLaurin back for Rouge. And up it goes, testing Emils again, and watches that and takes it well.
And the timing and the discipline of Artie Morgan, important at the back of that. He didn't give a penalty away, but yet again, Catalan Dragons marched themselves downfield. Michael McAloram's had a wonderful comeback after 2 weeks out. I wonder at what point Steve McNamara will think, I need to get Jaden Nikarima on now. I need to rest my old man at 36 years of age. Being able to manage him and having the luxury of Nikarima on the bench. Steve McNamara may well give him 10 minutes of his second half and rotate him, and then that will mix the game up for the Dragons.
I always felt a good analogy about McAloram. He's like one of those little machines, one of those little toys, you wind them up, and he just keeps on going and going and going.
I don't know, he does his own winding up of opposition, doesn't he? He's a good pro though, Michael McAloram. Doesn't drink, lives a clean life. Very diligent professional, and that is the key to longevity. All the players that play well into the 30s, late 30s, have good lifestyles off the field.
Yeah, loves it over there, doesn't he, in Perpignan. His 7th season with the Catalan Dragons, embraced the culture and the lifestyle and loving his rugby. Played by Tariq Sims. McLaurin there is begging for a penalty. Surely Hiku wasn't standing square at marker, but it matters not. Satai finds Desiree now. Last tackle, just inside their own half. Goes back to Cesar Rouge once more. Allowed to bounce.
Do you know, it's only a little thing, but it's massive in the context of a game. Within the job description of a fullback, catch the ball on the full, positionally be in the right place, back yourself and develop that skill and excel in that area.
And another thing worth mentioning is the kicking game of the Catalan Dragons has been exceptional.
Absolutely, yeah. Cesar Rouge in particular, I think Theo Fage, we know about his skill, we know about his kicking tactics, but Cesar Rouge has been terrific.
Tyrone May throwing caution to the wind. Yeah, McAloram, I think is penalised there for a tackle off the ball. And what me? Let's see.
He said, "What have I done?" And I can hear everybody at home thinking, "We don't know, but I'm sure you've done something." Fierce competitor, Mickey Mac as his nickname.
Let's have a look.
Emotional leader for his side. Yeah, he just takes him out just too late. Matt Parcell just cops one in the ribs. You can see that ball has already gone and he can't resist McIlroy. And that change might be coming sooner than 50 minutes, you know.
Well, here's the chance that Hull KR wanted at the start of the second half. 5 minutes in. Got to be next on the scoreboard. Dean Hadley. McClure and Farge, but Meakin in with the tackle. Hadley gingerly plays the ball. Minchella. Sam Luckley back in business after a suspension. Parcell, they come to the right once more. May, and that's well, it wasn't the best of passes, was it? It was Hiku looking for his winger. I was going to say an unforced error, but it may well have been a forced error.
You can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to find that space on the outside. The easier pass was to the fullback, but he chooses to go across the face of the fullback 9 levels, putting pressure on Hiku, who has to catch and pass at the same time, and it's too low, slightly behind the winger Burgess.
Move deep, Matt! Square, Matt! Go on.
It's not been a disastrous start from Hull KR, but for a side that like to play a lot behind high percentages, even though they promote the ball, they have a lot of play in them. They're usually pretty good on their skills, but they've been way off in this game.
Satai again making good yardage.
Go 3. Markers are good inside. 3.
Oh, the space here if they want it. Tom Johnston steps inside, gets away from the challenge of Hiku, and eventually brought down by Burgess. Didn't like the challenge, didn't like the tackle. Play on, says the referee, Jack Smith. Last one, McClorum now. Rouget with a little kick towards the corner. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Over the head of Hiku, but it rolls safely dead, and it'll be the 7 tackle set from the 20. 7 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Catalan 26, on KR 6.
Here's Tom Johnson. Nice battle and a nice duel going on with those two. Johnson and Burgess.
Held. 0, Jordan, release. Go.
Enjoying a bit of possession. Nearly Sirenen on for the home side now. Number 15 works hard, knocks out a lot of tackles, does a lot of work. A lot of work from the inside. But they've lost some power with Sarte going on.
Opicic for Hull KR on halfway. Luckily looking for a way through. Tariq Sims with the tackle. Now, was that a knock-on? I think the referee there said
there may well be a leg lift in there as well.
But he said it's gone backwards anyway, so Hull KR keep the ball with James Batchelor.
Jordan! Go for.
Decision going their way. Tyrone May looking for space on that left-hand side. On the charge is Tanganoa.
Yeah, you're back, Mark.
Quick play the ball. Chip over the top. The chase is on. Bouncing all over the place. I think Catalan have got the ball
just in the field of play.
Yes,
too.
you can see.
A scrappy end to the set.
It was like the Royal Rumble.
I think it's 9 levels that ends up kicking the ball. But they're starting to get a bit of momentum, or at least they were in that set. Tyrone Murray. Tyrone May off his line.
Okay. 4. Back here.
Well, they wanted a penalty there for a high shot on Morg. Wasn't forthcoming from the referee, but they made good yardage from their own line.
Surrender. 5. Stand up, Kalepi.
Navarrete back on. Rouget again. With a testing, teasing kick.
Move, Mickey!
49 minutes. 26 points to 6.
Go on.
It's a little win for the away team, isn't it? 10 minutes without conceding. It's a fairly even contest. Whilst it's not perfect, it is considerably better than the first half. And this is where, when Hull KR start to offload, start to try and find a little bit of a broken line, they can be dangerous. And now they've got a 6 again. Good, big opportunity for them.
At some stage, they are going to need to take a gamble. That's a great offload. Barcel back inside here for Hiku. This is much, much better from Hull KR. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Can they get a try on the board? It would be a big try. Quick hands. That's a good tackle.
Time off, the doctor's on. Tackle 2.
The doctor is on the field, so the referee needs to stop play. There's an injury
to a Catalan player, I think, in backfield.
There's an injury in backfield. And the minute the doctor comes in, that elevates the serious, or the potential serious nature, to the point where everybody has to stop. Players don't mind. They won't mind in this heat. Take a bit of fluid on, get around each other, bit of talk, bit of chat.
Opacic's brought down just before the try line, and you mentioned the M word, momentum, and they were just beginning to build a bit. But this is much better from Willie Peters' side.
Sustained pressure is. They're going to get anything out of this game, the Hull KR side. They have to aim for sustained pressure, set after set after set, making sure they start sets well into the half, 40-metre, 50-metre line. You can just see, can't you, Jordan Abdul.
Hamstring injury.
Yeah. Jordan Abdul injured. Steve McNamara, who believe is on the sideline, wants to get down amongst his players.
Tom, it's going to be you, play the ball. 2 markers inside, boys.
And Nicaragua about to come on. It was Masa Kavalu who got a headlock. Thumbs up though from Kavalu, one of the try scorers. He's okay, but he'll go off for an HIA, a head injury assessment. And here come Rovers again, desperate for a try that would get them back in this game. The old warhorse happily brought down, holding his arms as he gets up and plays the ball. Tyrone May. Nowhere for 9 levels to go. Rouget's had another fantastic game, hasn't he? In defence as well as attack. All a bit flat, that attacking line from KR. Last one. May with a little chip over the top, but it was a poor kick, wasn't it? The chase is good, but again, they come up with nothing. Vast difference. Rouge again in the right place for Catalan. But the difference at both ends of the field with the kicking game.
Stuart, it's not a great kick. You're almost handing the ball over. But as long as you can stay clean, and they failed to do that, Hull KR, as long as you can stay clean, you can start to get a little bit of dominance in your defensive line. Get up quick. Buy a little bit of time at the play of the ball, because your contact is good, your collision is good. They do neither, they don't get back on side, and a lack of discipline means that the Catalan Dragons have enough confidence, are blasé enough in this game to just tap the ball rather than kick it in touch. Shows where both teams are mentally and emotionally.
Hold here, hold!
Well, so far in the second half,
there's a knock-on from Romain Navarrete.
It was.
The play of the ball, lovely shot there. The travelling Hull KR fans, they've really travelled in numbers. Did we say 1,200 have made the trip across? Well done. And we hope for their sake that Hull KR can get themselves back into this game and make a contest of it. A good tackle, nice control. And as he's getting up to play the ball, Romain Navarrete. Yeah, you can just see him let go of it.
That's a prop forwards play the ball.
I take. Settle down, Pikey. Settle down.
But they've got another penalty here.
Urgency, isn't there?
Yeah.
Urgency from Matt Parcell.
Well, this is much better. Can they breach the Catalan defensive wall to get what would be a precious try to get them back in the game? Knock-on error, then a penalty given away. And a chance to attack with Luckley.
Mike off the ball! Make this 10-0.
But it's been a steady professional performance from Catalan in the second half.
Just a little push, leave it.
They've got a chance to hand here. Evans feeding Opicic. Here is Ryan Hall looking to go on his own, but there's nowhere to go. It was read well by his opposite number, Tom Davis. Tyrone May. Minchella out of the back door. Evans picks it up, and here is Hiku. This has been a really good defensive set so far.
Stay here. 5. Stay here. Go.
Last one. Where are they going to go? Is it a kick? Are they going to run it? Minchella now involved. Little chip towards the try line. Picked up by Davis, and does well. Scrambles back into the field of play.
That's a great kick from Ben Reynolds, and he does ever so well, Tom Davis. He can feel the pressure, feel the whole KR players chasing the kick, gets his body down low, and therefore they're unable to push him over the try line. That's a smart piece of play from the winger.
Also a really good defensive set from Catalan.
But not a bad set with the ball. You feel a little bit like they're forcing it, whole KR, but let's be honest, with the scoreboard like it is, they do have to have an element of that within the game.
5 Matt Parcell square. Go.
Well, he's still on, isn't he, Mickey McLaurin?
Clear.
There's life in those old legs. Yeah, another good kick downfield. Bounces before it's taken by Evans.
Another kick that bounces though, Stuart.
Here's Burgess. I really do like Rouget, you know. It's only his 19th game for Catalan. He's got a massive future ahead of him.
Played with good spirit, good intellect in this game, and energy too. Jordan Abdul could be out for a number of weeks, so that spot is his to have or to lose.
55 minutes, still waiting for the first points of the second half. At the moment, the Dragons looking good to maintain their 100% home record in Super League, that is. Reynolds with the kick downfield. Good positioning from Artem Morg.
Ben Reynolds, when he kicks, he tends to keep them low. He knows exactly where his sights are set. And what he's doing is he's asking his team, he's challenging his team to get a net around the kick return play. Tom Johnson feels a bit of pressure on the neck.
Well, Johnson only just come back into the side.
Tom Johnson.
He picked up an injury to his head in the win over St Helens, but yeah, he was pointing to his neck there.
Well, let's have a look. A couple of bodies around it. Matty Staunton, who's come on
Still down.
for Dean Hadley a couple of minutes ago.
His hand went straight to his neck.
All right, let's have a look. I think this is the angle that will tell us.
Hip drop or not?
Well, listen, when you reverse, when you're going backwards and you're trying to still go forward in direction, but you're facing backwards, you're always in a difficult position. With bodies around it, sometimes the player that's in or around the neck, often it's the players that come in and are involved. We saw earlier in the day, Salford, King Punu Iowa sent off for a leg lift. He was the last one in, and I don't think his teammates helped him out either.
Before we say anything,
It's interesting. I'm pretty sure that Jack Smith will ask the video referee Ben Thaler just to have a look at this, just to make sure that there was no foul play.
Johnson, just wait on again.
Well, Matty Staunton is in or around the back of the head. it doesn't look great, but I don't think it's deliberate, and I think there are contributing factors with the defenders around him and the fact that he's reversing into it. But under the way that we play the game now, you have to have a duty of care for everybody around the place.
Yeah, they're very strict, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, I'll just see that last one. Yeah, I can hear you, Ben. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's it. Come here, mate.
Well, just having a look at it, and Matty Staunton here is going to be spoken to. So clearly,
I'm just talking to Matty, mate. He's allowed to say
they reckon that there's some foul play involved there. Pressure on the neck of Tom Johnston, and Staunton gets 10 minutes. And in this current climate, the way that the game is being played now, you can't argue with that decision.
Well, yeah, it's a difficult one. When you slow it down, when you isolate it and look at it, you can find fault in nearly everything that goes on in the game. And Ben Thaler, not sure if everybody at home can hear the comments. I don't think you can, but they had enough looks of it. And in the spirit of keeping the game safe, 10 minutes, and it just quietens everybody down and makes sure nobody gets distracted and goes back into that. Nicarima on for the Catalan Dragons.
Well, they're very strict, aren't they? On any tackles like that, they have been, and they've been told to be, the officials, even more so in 2024. So Hockey are down to 12 men for the next 9 or 10 minutes. Here's McMeekan. To be honest with you, we've seen very little, haven't we, with Catalan with ball in hand in the second half. They've had a lot of play, a lot of possession. LKR have done nothing with it. It's the first real threat from the home side in the second half. Last one, McAlorum and Rouget. Here is Tariq Sims, but he's going nowhere. But they're playing the right game, because
they're 20 points up,
yeah,
top and bottom
20 points up, and look where Hockeyar have got the ball. Yeah,
the top and bottom of it is they're in front on the scoreboard, and it's a different skill closing a game out. You're in front, you need to control the pace of the game. Michael McAlorum still on the field. And the Dragons offside from the play of the ball. Tariq Sims just having a little chat with the referee. But trying to control the game when you know you're in front. And what you're doing is you're just not giving an opportunity to your opposition. And it's not quite going through the motions, but it's not far off. It's been clean, it's been effective, it's been efficient with what you're doing.
5 wins on the spin for Hull KR. Is that going to come to an end? And is that a knock-on?
Big defence.
It is. Whitbread with the error.
Closing the game out. Still keeping your dominance and your aggression, but keeping it way underneath the line. And Michael McAlorum's had a wonderful return to the side, led by his actions in attack and defence. You can just see that old back of him, of his, just having a little bit of a stretch. But the competitor he is, he won't want to go off.
Ball out. Getting there early, Ty. Come on.
It's just been a very professional performance in the second half. A job very well done in the first half for Catalan, and they're protecting the lead. I think they've got a penalty here. It was a ball steal. Is it a simple equation? Is it 2 points?
I don't think they will. I think they'll tap and go.
Well, they are tapping and going. 20 points the advantage, looking to make it 24 or 26. McMeekan brought down by Parcell, who was hanging on for far too long. It's a set restart. And here they go again with Garcia. Garcia picked up off the floor well by Navarrete, does really well.
Hold this line now.
Approaching the hour mark. Sims for the line. Another try now, and that really would be that. Here is Garcia. He's dropped the ball, he's knocked on, so really good defence.
Yeah, knock on.
Tanganoa
I think it's Mike McMeekin just simply hands it on. It wasn't the right pass. They were looking to shift it. He passes that ball in a motion that's going in the same direction of the ball. So all he's doing is dragging defenders to Garcia. As soon as he catches that ball, he has defenders in his face. And sometimes games can boil down to numbers. Sometimes it's an emotional response, but the numbers that the Catalan Dragons have thrown out, both wingers for the Dragons are well over 100 metres. Every time they've carried the ball, they've created momentum. They've made meters and they've caused problems. And whilst they've been a bit more stoic in the goal line defence, the Hull KR side, they're giving themselves a chance in the game.
Ryan Hall brought down, still eager to see the ball, to run with the ball. Ryan Hall. Career game number 472 for the veteran. Don't forget, 244 Super League tries for Hall. Maguire's record in sight at 247. Minchella forced to take the tackle from McMeekin. There's got to be a penalty.
Yeah.
That's what's known as a professional foul.
Well, there was a mix-up with a support run. I think it was Burgess. Everybody looking at the referee, and Mike McMeekin stayed in there far too long. And it had been a really good defensive set up until that point.
Some good news for the Dragons. That's a Cavallo. You remember he went off for a head injury assessment. He's passed that. And the opportunity for him to come back onto the field. 18 minutes to go in the south of France. Here is Kalepi Tanganoa. Still 26 points to 6. That was Minchella with the pass. Trying to force it as they have to, but forcing the pass results in another error.
And I think it was the presence of Michael McAloran. He's the leading tackler for his side, but it's not just the amount of tackles, it's not just the number, it's his physical presence in the line. Elliot Minchella, gets it all wrong for his side. Whilst they've been a bit better with the ball, they haven't really asked enough questions. As we've said, we're coming into the final quarter now, 2 minutes into that final quarter. They haven't challenged the line enough.
Right. 36 years of age, worth reminding you, Michael McAloran fires this time with a kick. What was left in your legs at 36 years of age?
Well, we're a long time retired at 36.
My point in time,
yes.
Now, he's had a cracking game.
Go on, I'm big.
I think the key is as well, I mean, you speak to him occasionally, but he still loves it, doesn't he?
He's a competitor, he's passionate about what he does. And you talk to anybody from the Catalan club and they talk about his influence on the dressing room, the standards he drives really hard, and the influence he has on everybody. And like I said, that clean living, no drinking, eating well, a little bit of sun on your back does wonders for those legs.
Cavallo back on for the Dragons. 17 minutes to go. May with a little kick behind the defence, but not really too much pressure on Tom Johnston. Picks it up easily. In the first half with ball in hand, Catalan did a job on Hull KR. In the second half, equally defensively and with ball in hand professionally, they've done a job on Hull KR.
Yeah, I wonder if the player we all like to talk about, Mikey Lewis, would have been on the field, whether it would have been a different story.
Oh, great offload. Nicarima, if he gets clear, will take some stopping. It's beginning to chance their arm a little more now, Catalan. 16 minutes to go. On the last, I think it was Morg. Evans this time on the fly, on the charge, takes it well. No way back for Hull KR now, but Catalan Dragons heading for the top of the table.
But we began the second half talking about the impact of these games for the following week. Wigan, Saints, Warrington, how they finish this game, the Robins, for me will determine how they start the next couple.
And after that, cup semi-final against Wigan.
Yeah.
What a month coming up for Willie Peters' side.
Oh, Mike, away from the ball! Go, Jaden! You're 10 now!
Litton back on the field. Trying to inject a bit of speed, a bit of pace, a bit of urgency behind what his side are doing. Reynolds with a little kick up and an easy take again for Ben Garcia.
Well, we're talking about Michael McAlorum and how much graft he puts in. Well, ditto Benjamin Garcia, his numbers every single week. Last week, 200 appearances for the club, and every one of them in the engine room, toiling away, most of them covered in blood, sweat and tears.
Ben! You're 10 now, mate!
Steve McNamara has got the response he demanded.
Back here, Ben, 10.
They'll be pleased with the first 40 minutes, and Steve McNamara will be learning a lot about his side with no scoreboard pressure, and Willie Peters will be learning a lot about his individuals and his side with the scoreline, how it is at the minute. Who can think the way out of trouble? Who's not interested in getting back into this game? Who's more concerned with next week? Matty Staunton coming back on the field, returning from the sin bin.
Play the ball, mate. Do you want it?
Yeah, no damage done on the scoreboard with Hull KR down to 12. What Willie Peters will be disappointed at, especially in this second half. They have had a lot of the ball, but they haven't half lacked a cutting edge.
And that's the thing to fix up, isn't it? And we were talking this afternoon, you and I. It's not always the momentum that you've got at this time of the year. It's the momentum that you're gathering around 18, 19, and you're going into those big games. You need to save your best rugby league for the back end of the year. There's a knock-on here.
Ben Reynolds. Nicarima it was with the tackle.
In the middle.
I suppose you've got to talk about the lack of cutting edge for Hull KR. You've got to also say that it's as much to do with the way that the Catalan have defended as well.
Tomorrow.
The great sense of pride for everybody connecting with the club is how many French players there are, how many system-trained players are in the ranks and having significant involvement within the side. We talked about Garcia, Fash, Rouget, Romano. Artyom Morg has got loads of growing and developing to do. He's such a threat, got lots of potential. But Steve McNamara has done a terrific job.
So is Artyom Romano. Are we going to see a try in this second half? Nicarima at dummy half. Here is Chris Sassai back on the field with the offload, and Tariq Sims couldn't pick that up. So another error. I think at the moment both sides realise that the game is up. Catalan are going to win, Hull KR are going to lose. It's all getting a little scrappy.
Yeah, it was a long way down for the big fella then, wasn't it? A dipping ball, a dipping offload. And that's a tired effort. Job done for a number of these players. I reckon if you ask both teams, both coaches, they'd call it quits now, I think.
You talked about what certain players bring to the Catalan dressing room. Chatting with Steve McNamara in the week, says what's to come up for the Dragons. Away games at Lee and Wigan, big home games against Leeds and Warrington, and then at the end of May, away at Saints, and the professionalism and the influence that people are bringing to the dressing room. Well, we've mentioned it, haven't we? Look at that. Wigan, Saints, Warrington, Wigan in the cup. Tariq Sims is one of those players who's brought so much in such a short space of time to the Catalan dressing room, and there's another mistake.
That's where recruitment is so important. Who you bring in, not just for what they bring on the field, but their influence within the changing room, how they drive those standards on the training field. And Willie Peters, Danny Ward looking on, knowing that there's some pretty harsh lessons going on. Even though the desire to try things through Tanganoa is still there, you've got to execute, get it right, and have better skill under pressure.
Bailey Sirenen for Catalan. 10 minutes to go.
Hold.
Still without a single point in the second half. Chris Satay looking to change that.
Line 2.
Nicarima
Go to.
at dummy half. Nicarima goes on his own, but it was well read. Evans was in there, luckily as well. Chris Satay playing at dummy half. Ball on the bounce. Maybe some space out here for Johnston. Johnston goes for the corner, and it was inevitable. And Tom Johnson with the try. And Catalans score the first points of the second half, but it's taken them half an hour to do it. And Johnston makes it 32 tries in 37 games for the Catalan Dragons. It had been coming.
Patience shown by the home side. Handled the onslaught that Hull KR had thrown at them, and those home fans will be delighted with the way that their team has played. Romano, who's ran for over 100 metres while carrying the ball, provides an opportunity to his winger, Johnson. Not quite as flamboyant and acrobatic as Tom Davis, but they all count, don't they? If I'm being kind and I've got the rose-tinted glasses on from a Catalan perspective, there was always going to be a fight back. So it was important that they absorbed that pressure, handled what Hull KR threw at them, and when they had their opportunity, however many they had, whether it was 1, 6 or 10, they took them. And that's exactly what they've done. And the Hull KR players, who have invested a lot into the opening 31 minutes of the second half, invested a lot of energy, a lot of effort to no reward, and still don't manage to improve on the try that Burgess got on 11 minutes.
Correct. You have to be honest, they haven't looked like scoring.
No.
Harsh but fair, Barry.
No. And I don't necessarily direct that at the halves. I think they've been beaten up in the middle. That middle corridor has been dominated by the pack of the Catalan Dragons.
Morg off the touchline. Oh, that looks pretty good. And it hits the post, and it just bounces out. Unlucky for Martin Morg, but 30 points to 6 it is. And we have about 8 minutes to go.
A big deficit in terms of the missed tackle numbers. We make it that Hull KR have missed 47 tackles and just 16 for the Catalan Dragons. So, listen, a lot to work on. You can talk about defensive structures and systems all you want, but making your one-on-one tackles is a fundamental part of the game. And sadly for the Robins, they've been woeful in that department.
Square on KR! Hold.
Well, we posed the question at the start that it is, or has been, a real test of Hull KR's credentials. Have they failed that test, or was it just a bad day at the office?
Without a doubt, they've failed that test. They've got to go back to that metaphorical chalkboard and start again, haven't they? I'm sure they'll probably look at players that weren't playing and highlight what an influence they would have had, but for me, they've been taught a lesson. Catalan Dragons go back to the top of the table. There's a number of teams that are showing the way, Wigan being one of them, but Catalan Dragons are right amongst the pack leaders.
That's clear.
Rouget with the kick. 7 minutes to go. Barry McDermott will be choosing the Betfred player of the match. We'll ask him to have a little think about that. He'll come back with his verdict, I'm sure, in a couple of minutes.
Chris for me, mate. Go to.
Less than 7 minutes on the clock. Ryan Hall, that was a poor pass. And another error, this time from Ryan Hall. And another chance as Farge picks up the pieces for Catalan to put points on the board. Too many mistakes and too many players, I'm afraid, around about the 5 out of 10 mark. And that won't win you a game in the south of France. Here is Morg again and Romano. Well, he's trying to set up something for Morg. It's an error. Thon in the last 10 minutes. So many drop balls, penalties given away, chances given away. 6 minutes to go. Player of the match time.
I think you'd forgive the mistakes that the home side have made. I think they've earned the right to force the issue and force play. I think that player in your screen, Ata Romano, has had a tremendous game. Cesar Rouge has been sensational, and even though he only played just over an hour, Michael McAloran's influence on this game means, to me, he's the most important player. 32 tackles, 32 defensive efforts, but that's not taking into account the amount of times he led the defensive line. He's smart around the play of the ball. He provided the passes for a couple of tries, so I've got to give it the old stage. 36-year-old Michael McAloran is the Betfred player of the match.
Yeah, not bad for an old guy.
I have to ask you this, by the way, Pikey. How were your legs at 36?
Gone.
Same as they are now.
Gone.
Useless. I don't see you running marathons, my man.
Walking football these days.
And good luck to all the rugby players, ex and current, that are running in the London Marathon tomorrow.
Yep. Is there any consolation for Hull KR with less than 5 minutes to go?
You've got 5 minutes. Go all on.
Charge down. Now then, Tariq Sims, has he got the legs? He kicks it forward. Can he pick the ball up? Sims! Yes, he can! Oh, look at the celebration. Look at that. Look at what it means to Tariq Sims. The charge down. The football skills, the pick up, the try, the big smile. And Tariq Sims gets a classic Catalan try.
Brilliant from the big man. He'll get a game for the Socceroos. Skills like that. Exhausted he is. Maximum effort applied from his perspective on this game. 75 minutes of constant work. This is just kick pressure. This is a man doing his job. He's not at any point looking for a try. When the ball is bouncing and bobbling, he's got a decision. Do I go down on it? Do I just bank the advantage of getting hold of the ball, or do I go for broke? I'm not sure about his running style. I'm not sure about his pick-up, but what I am sure about is the effort and the celebration. Some kind of WWE wrestler. John Cena, I reckon.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, terrific.
Cheers, Coxie, I've got the mark, mate.
And what I love about that try, and I know I've said it, is he's just going to put kick pressure on. He's not thinking about the reward of a try, but when it presents himself, he's got enough skill, he's got enough left in that empty tank of his to pick the ball up and muscle his way over for the try.
Third try of his Catalan career for Tariq Sims, but I bet I'll be absolutely delighted with that. There is the player of the match, Michael McAloran. And here is Artem Morg having 2 more points, and it's 36 points to 6 with 3 minutes to go. And it's been a thoroughly professional victory for Catalan.
Just a couple of minutes on the clock, and 26-6 it was at half-time. Just the 2 tries in the second half and one. Obviously, a couple of moments ago, those home fans delighted with the ability of their side to hang in, stick in, absorb the pressure, and come away with those 2 quick tries. 6 minutes between them.
I want to ask you what you think this says now about Hull KR.
That they've got a lot to work on, and as I say, nobody wins anything at this time of year. It's about progression, it's about improvement, it's about some honesty, isn't it?
And they have a big game next week to put it right.
Yeah.
Sell-out crowd, home to the Super League champions, terrific atmosphere, and you know, an opportunity to right the wrongs of another defeat in the south of France.
Stay here, Jay. 4. Got hold of it, mate.
It's been 6 years since they've won here now.
Some players might not get the chance to make up. Some players might be a casualty of this performance, but those players will go away, work hard, look at the things they were deficient on, Yes, there was mistakes, missed tackles, drop balls. But unless we understand the inner workings of Hull KR and what everybody's roles and responsibilities are, only the players on the pitch, only the coaching staff will know who's failed miserably and who's done their absolute best.
Well, their worst performance of the season, no doubt. Catalans' worst performance of the season came against Huddersfield in the Challenge Cup quarter-finals, and a week later they put it right and how.
Yeah, I want to give you some numbers again. Davis 139, Johnson 129, Romano 122, Chris Sate come off the bench over 100 metres. They've absolutely dominated. When they've had the ball, they've made meters and made more meters, which has meant that Hull KR have always been, from a deep field position, unable to put pressure on the line of the Dragons. Completely dominant performance. And then they make
another mistake.
Basic fundamental mistakes like that. Uncharacteristic mistakes, I might add.
Yeah, Petr Hiku this time with a mistake. They've given away penalties, they've dropped the ball, and we've had knock-ons, set restarts. You have to, I guess, consign it to the dustbin of Super League history, but they will have a long, hard look at it in the week, I'm sure.
Stuart, players and coaches don't always have that. You don't always have that luxury. You've got to look at your mistakes, you've got to address your mistakes, and you've got to work on them. There is no perfect player. Players are always constantly evolving and improving. Otherwise, they find themselves out of the team.
There may well be several changes next week, as you say. Into the last few seconds then. What's been a really good performance from the home side. Ball for Johnston. Can they finish with a flourish? Little kick inside. Just a little bit too much on that from Tom Johnston. But that is that. Smiles all around. Handshake between the two wingers, Burgess and Johnston. But Catalan winning by 36 points to 6. And the Catalan Dragons are back on top of the Super League table. A really disappointing performance from Hull KR, who set their stall out to prove a point, but they've taken a backward step in the south of France.